Wow, can you believe it? Bitcoin is still in this very sideways range. It is not offering a lot of opportunities. You have to be very selective with your trades, being patient for taking the very best trades, which are only offering 1 to 2 a day maximum. So I want to use this video, the word aprovechar, take advantage of the slowness in Bitcoin to also look at a few other markets. I want to show you the opportunities here, show you some technical analysis, and help you be selective, finding the very best trades. We're going to start off on Bitcoin as, of course, that's our baby, our love, right? And then we'll move on to a few other markets, including gold, which I think is just wonderful right now. But yeah, with Bitcoin, if you can remember, it's been a while, and I know crypto has a very quick, people forget very quickly in crypto. 1 week seems like a year in this market. But 1.5 weeks ago was my last YouTube video where I was saying, at the time we were here, right? And I was saying, well, I'd really like to see a new weekly high formed for a short or a new weekly low formed for a long. And I'm not really that interested in this kind of choppy sideways range. It wasn't the perfect. I do love to trade ranges, and I enjoy trading ranges when they're very well defined. And this range for me seemed a little bit more choppy. We were getting, the front runs, and then you see the front run, and then the move that down below, you were seeing lows taken, 5 minutes later. It really was what I would describe as a pretty choppy sideways range, making the entries difficult. And so when an environment like this comes around, which is rare, I have been saying this, I cannot remember the last time Bitcoin has acted like this for such a long period, nearly 2 weeks, we've gone sideways for 2 weeks before, right? But normally in really well-defined, very nice tradable ranges. This one was just a little bit different, right? We're slightly downtrending. It's taking the lows several times. It was the few dollars of the front runs. That is not normal for Bitcoin. So, I kind of read this early, thankfully, and started to see, I will wait and I will trade Bitcoin if it gives a good trade setup, which has given a few over the past few days. But I would prefer to see the new weekly high or low. And in the meantime, I'm opening myself up to trading NQ, ES, gold, oil. There's other altcoins, right? There's other markets out there to trade. But looking here at Bitcoin, and we'll do a quick refresher. So this is what I'm looking at, really. So we can see we have been range bound, I would say, from the start of Tuesday, on the 4th. We're now on this 10 days ago. Look at that, 10 days ago is when this range really started. So we're putting a fixed range from the start there to where we are here. You can see we have seen slight respect of the value area high here, but then the value area low with no respect, trading through the value area low. So not a perfect range in terms of the value areas, but a little bit of respect here. And we can see we're currently bouncing once again off of this zone of the value area low, which would have been in confluence with the low to high local CC Fibonacci pull. So locally, this is just extremely range bound. So what we would want to say to ourselves is, where would this first initial, again, and I don't want to say this is a massive thing, but an initial sign of strength? Well, I think at the very least, right, we want to see this value area high reclaimed. Over the past, the whole of this week, so Monday held down by the value area high, Tuesday held down by the value area high, Wednesday held down by the point of control, which was a level that I did short, by the way. And we brought it down, of course, to the value area low. But nevertheless, our first initial sign of strength would be reclaiming this value area high. It would show us from this week of price action, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, unable to breach this level. So if we are to breach, and rather than doing a fake out, which means takes the high and come back down, if we are able to breach and hold the level as support, so we reclaim that value area high as support, it would finally open a opportunity for coming up to that previous week high, which I would really like. That's $103,000, let's call it. I do think we want to be aware, just as like what happened on the 7th of February. We actually breached the level and we simply came up to 100,000 psychological. And this is why psychological levels I have been talking about for years. They are important because on Tuesday the 7th, you breach the value area high. It looks like you're going to get some strength and then you actually reject really simply, right? This is very simple, off of the psychological $100,000. Okay, the high there, $170. So very precise there off of the psychological liquidity. Of course, that has been tapped, but that was over a week ago now, right? So, that liquidity has built up once more. But I would say reclaim the value area high, and I would really like to see that let's go to $103,000. Yeah, be aware of that 100,500 just above last Friday's high, but my preferred scenario, would be to make that new week, a new high from above the 4th of February. That would be also a new monthly high because our current monthly high is just above that 3rd of February high as well. So our current monthly high sat all around there at 103,000. So we do have some nice confluence up there. In the meantime, I do not think that we have any good short trades here on Bitcoin in terms of what I class as good, a level that you're ready and waiting for. So I will refer you to a short trade that I took on Bitcoin. This would have been 2 days ago. In the meantime, you can see I've been scalping around on a few Bitcoin, few NQ trades, but nothing really that to shout home about. We had all this day of trading again, some ES, NQ trades in there. And this was the last short that I took. So Bitcoin into that point of control. We were into that point of control zone, anchored VWAP zone. And it wasn't a level that I was waiting for, but it was a level upon coming into the level. I liked the order flow. I liked the way at the time. The ES and NQ were pulling back ever so slightly. And so took the short there on that zone, stop loss above the value area high. And we woke up to the rejection from there, making our way down to the value area low, where, of course, we locked in some profits. But this is the trade that I was not waiting for. I did not wait for the point of control thing. This is going to be an epic trade setup. But in the time we hit the level, I liked the order flow. I took the trade and I told all the Discord. Went to sleep, woke up with the profits, right? And I don't see a trade here still where I'm thinking, I'm waiting for this level here locally within this range where I'm like, this is an amazing trade setup. We might get a half opportunity right off of the value area high, but this is one, all we can do really is place the alert and then let's do the same again. Check the reaction, check the order flow in there and make an informed decision. I wouldn't use a tight stop loss. Tight stop losses are going to be hunted. So you need to give yourself a bit of space, let the trade breathe, as I like to say. And, then we are either going to be stopped out while you sleep, for example, or the trade will end in profit like this one did. But you do have to be selective and you do have to give this space to breathe. 1 second. Okay, so in terms of the longs also, I do not feel that you have any nice opportunities here, to be honest. Of course, you've had that pullback from the high where we're taking profits on the short. You could have scalped along at the same time, right? Into the CC, into the value area low. That's come and gone. That was the trade of yesterday. I wouldn't take another retest of that level because then you've gone lower, high, lower, high, lower, high into an already tested Fibonacci value area low. That is not what I class as a good trade setup. So I would happily miss that if we do end up bouncing from there. And I would be remaining patient for new lows at this point. Again, one thing that I want to emphasize there, because some people can get confused, you could quote and take my quote out of context. I am waiting for new lows there. Okay, I want to say I have not said new lows are coming next. I have said, for me, this is a 50-50 gamble. It is a 50-50 will come up to the highs or a 50-50 will come down to the lows. That is a complete gamble. Thus, I'm not interested in trying to predict which way we're going to pump next. Okay, I know when I have good high probability trade setups. These are trades that I will be waiting for, or trades live in the time when I will take the short because I felt that I had a good high degree of probabilities of the short playing out there, giving the market context, giving the rotation back down to value area low. I waited for that short, I took that short in the time, but I felt that I had, 70+% probability. So it's a trade I'm happy to take. Trading right now, where I feel there's no high probability trade setup because we do not have any good confluence. It is a 50-50 of whether we go up or down. Well, I'm not going to trade that. I'm not going to be taking any new trades here. Okay, I have some trades that are already open, but in terms of a new trade setup, I'm not going to be, brought into these types of low probabilities. 50-50 for me is a low probability, so that's a gamble. I always say I'm not a gambler in this market. I have very high win rates because I wait for the very best trades. So yeah, that's what I would be saying right now. I will wait for a new low still on Bitcoin, new highs on Bitcoin, aware of the slight opportunity at the value area high. What I want to concentrate on in this video, there is a few. You want to know what's crazy? I think the Matrix don't want me to talk about this. As soon as I was going to go into the other opportunities, my computer blue screened. Thank God for MKV files, by the way, which saved the recording. But yeah, maybe there's something out there that doesn't want me to show you about this information. The enemy's trying to get involved, because I truly feel there are some great opportunities for massive profits. I really mean it. So yeah, I'm going to highlight, here, to be fair, this was yesterday's day of trading from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. These were the trades that I took. Every trade is listed here. You can see a nice win there on Bitcoin, NQ, gold, oil, another one on Bitcoin. So you can see I'm opening myself up to a few other markets there, gold, oil, for example, and just showing you that there are opportunities. If we have our technical analysis theory on point, there's no reason why we can't use that on every other market. And so with that in mind, I want to show you a few very interesting charts, and I want to start off with gold. Right, we trade the digital gold, but this physical gold is extremely bullish right now. I'm aware of the fundamental factors and the great demand of gold right now, but from a chart perspective as well, this is just so bullish. It has been bullish, right, for over a few years. It's just very strong uptrends. And then during the course of the end of 2024 coming into 2025, we had this triangle, symmetrical triangle type structure where we built up higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. At the time we had the lower high, lower high, lower high. And this is a symmetrical triangle in a very big bull market. So, you would expect the highest probability breaking to the upside, and that's what it done. It broke to the upside, and then here, this was the old all-time high. You back tested here, the old all-time high, resistance into support to support the further continuation to the upside. I truly feel that gold is very technical asset, very bullish asset, one that longing the dips on is paying very well. And we can just see a few things that I would, let's say you've never looked at gold before, because I know not everybody that watches this channel looks at gold. One thing to pay attention to is I would pull this target that you can see you are at, or very close to. It depends. Let me just do this. We do have to be a bit more precise. We can see we would pull that from the breakout here. And so I will delete this line, and these are my magic little lines I do, but you do have to be a little bit more careful, of course, when you're doing proper technical analysis. You can pull it from the exact wicks I'm using. You can see that's the official the parallel symmetrical triangle. Man, I'm losing my words here. This is what happens. I need to be concentrating. You had the symmetrical triangle. I don't know why, but for some reason saying symmetrical triangle sounds super strange. The symmetrical triangle you had going on there, right, with your lower highs and your higher lows. We take the full length of that triangle from the high to the low, and we expand that from the breakout. And that, look at the breakout as well. Broke out, back test, continuation, just like at that all-time high, broke out, back test, continuation, just such a technical asset. But you can see that target is reaching very closely here, and it's coming in at basically 3,000 points. You can see 2,991 to be precise. Or again, be precise, I would not say, well, this is the exact dollar going to be target. Again, give it a little bit of space. Up to 3,000, and I would, again, when I talk about 3,000, I'd say, easily $20 either side of that, right? You don't need to be so, this is the exact dollar that we're looking for. Okay, but we're coming up into some resistance here. So this is a good area if you're already long from previous levels, nice profit-taking area. Reminds me very much of $100,000 Bitcoin. So $3,000 gold is very similar to $100,000 Bitcoin. People that have been trading gold for the past few years, okay, are going to have 3,000 as that next big psychological level, right? Because we've been trading around 2,500 for a long time. And so hitting $100,000 Bitcoin, people that have been long over the past few years as well, right? They're using this as a big take profit level. All you have to remember with $100,000 Bitcoin, we ever so slightly front run it. Then we traded through it, looked like we had reclaimed, and then we got a flush back down below. So there was a lot of profit taking, a lot of accumulation. I could call it distribution going on there, reaccumulation, right? Going on Bitcoin, all around that level. And I do feel that that's likely to happen on gold here. So that offers some opportunities for profit taking if you are long. And also I would be careful, some short opportunities from that zone or long in the dip. Okay, so you have a wide spectrum of opportunities. Why? Because I am expecting that range to go on here as profit taking starts to occur, as we hit a big psychological level. And if it's anything like Bitcoin, the slight front run, pullback, breach, that is what I would like to see on gold. I think that would offer another wonderful opportunity for a long in the dip, which I think has been a wonderful strategy. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at on gold: the triangle, the target, the psychological level. I just a quick bit of analysis, keeping it very simple. I think that's what I'm very good at keeping things really simple. I'm not making my analysis confusing here. So it's very easy for you as a follower to follow along here. And this is the same strategy that I would use when I'm trading, right? I'm not making it different here. I'm keeping it simple. These are my targets. These are my zones. That's where I look for the trade. The only thing that I would add on to this is I will look for a lower term time frame entry. I'm not just going to randomly place a limit order at $2,970. No, I want to wait for a significant level to be hit, such as the triangle target, and then look for a lower term time frame trade entry. And that is how I get such high win rates, because I got a high term time frame target and then I use a lower term time frame entry. So I'm combining the higher term time frame with the lower term time frame. If you've just shorted for the higher term time frame target and you just randomly you're just going to place the limit order there waiting, yeah, you could say you have an okay trade. If you're only on the lower term time frame and you see a trade set up, yeah, you have an okay trade. If you combine the two, the lower term time frame entry at the higher term time frame target, well, that's where you get the win rates that I have. And sometimes it even embarrasses me to say it, because I'm always talking about, you have to be realistic. If you're on like a 60% win rate, that's perfect. But I'm pushing on some of my accounts 100% win rates. And it's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of I want to take a loss at some point, because I feel like some people aren't even going to believe it, because it is kind of unrealistic, really. But I'm achieving it, so I'm happy about that, of course. But it is a bit crazy. But yeah, nevertheless, that's what I'm looking at next on gold. And so a very quick overview on NQ and ES. I'm still so bullish on the NQ. I mean, I'm super bullish on the stock market year on year, day on day, hour on hour, like this, just massive bull on these markets. But, if you followed me over the years, I was super early to Apple, I was super early to Nvidia. You all know these charts. They have been... I was in Nvidia from around $3 to $1,000. Of course, now we've had stock splits, but I wish we didn't, because it looked more impressive when it was $3 to $1,000. But nevertheless, we're back here at $100 after stock splits. I've been very early to these assets, and I think I was born into just being a massive bull. And one thing that I would say is kind of funny is that I'm a massive bull on the stock markets, and the charts, pay off to be massive bulls on the stock markets. And then it kind of feels sorry for people that got into the altcoins, because, you see the massive altcoin bulls. And they don't have the same luck. Looking at the Ethereum chart, not to mention any names, right? But it is a little bit of a sad time for a lot of people when they look at these altcoins, and for them, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, their assets go down and down and down and down. So you do have to be also selective with what you remain super bullish on, I think. But for me, I've made my bed and I lay in it very happily with being a massive stock market bull. Everything for me is just to buy the dip opportunity. Of course, these are more long-term holds, so holding underlying assets. But, even on the futures, longs are very well paid. But yeah, I'm really looking for the new all-time high on NQ. I have no real reason to think we're not going to hit that. I thought when we front run the all-time high on NQ, well, ES was hitting new all-time highs, really just made me feel, wow, what's the probability of front running the all-time high on NQ while ES hits it? Very low. So that was a major factor of why I remain so bullish on the NQ, and I do think it's going to pay off. So yeah, I'm looking for new all-time highs on ES and NQ. That offers intraday opportunity pullbacks for long opportunities. So yeah, I'd say further upside expected on gold. Again, this has got less because the triangle target's coming up very close. But nevertheless, we still got those intraday pullback long opportunities. So yeah, I remain bullish on gold, to be fair. Bullish on the ES and NQ. Oil is a little bit more... not as bullish on oil. Maybe I'll save this for another video because I don't want this to go on for too long, to be honest. But if you're interested in oil, then I can give you some oil analysis. If you want to know about strategy, no longer MicroStrategy or Nvidia, or even Coinbase, right? You know, Coinbase is a great stock. So if you're interested in these other markets and you'd like more analysis from myself, please leave me a comment down below. You know, I read every single comment that's posted. And I'm more than happy to, you know, approach and you know, answer these questions. So let me know down below as well. Any questions or primarily for this one, if you're interested in these other markets. I've also just created a new sub account for Bybit. So I'm going to be taking some trades on here. If you want to see some live streams and trades taken on a new account here, we can also look at altcoins. If you want some altcoins, let me know. I'm happy to do all of it on this account, really. And it's just another one to see, you know, to show you the trades taken, the thought process. This is more for live and the time trading opportunities. So if that's of interest to you, I'm sure it is. I already know it's going to be of interest. So what am I saying? You could just give a video, like to the video, and I'll happily bring you this. I'm really trying to provide some real high quality content on these YouTube videos to show you really what's possible, the level of professionalism that we give. I'm a very good professional when it comes to trading. When it comes to language, let's just say, estoy intentando. I have fun. And I wanted to end with a little view here of, because I had some questions. Obviously, I've been posting in the Discord, on Twitter, or X, however you want to refer to it as, some of my trades across the Leap competition, as well as some of my trades on this Bybit account. And some of the questions that I've been receiving are like, how am I getting the fees so low? And there's a few factors that come into this. I want to really refer to the Bybit ones. So the fees are pretty low. You can see, for example, here, 0.25 Bitcoin position size, $3 on fee. And so that's pretty low, I think. And the way that you get involved on this is via the VIP level on Bybit. So I just want to spend 1 minute just talking you through this because it is very helpful. And so you have to understand that if you're trading like very low volume, then, you know, if you're trading like $10 a day, then you're only going to be on some standard level account. But the more you're trading, and this doesn't necessarily mean your balance, by the way, you could have a balance of $5,000. But if you're trading $5,000 a day, then you're going to be able to very quickly work your way up the ranks, okay? Especially with compounding, getting bigger trade size, you know, with a $5,000 starting account, you can work your way up to higher VIP levels. So it's not about your balance, but it's, you know, the trading volume. And the higher the trading volume, the higher the VIP. But there are a few other criteria that you can get these higher VIP levels. But this is how I'm on a pretty good fee structure. Because of the trading volume, and the advantages of becoming a VIP are primarily, right, you get the lower fees, but you also do have advantages such as having a VIP, you know, person to speak to. So any query you have, you can send them a message, you get replies very, very quickly. You get some nice little gifts of bonuses. If you do the API wealth management with Bybit, you get better API. So there are several advantages to this as on top of the fees. And so, yeah, for all the people that were asking me about that, or maybe you could just, you know, just simply you can type into Google VIP Bybit, and you can read through all of the benefits, let's say, of becoming a VIP on Bybit. But that's how I get the lower fees. And that's how you can take advantage of it too. And I think it's very worthwhile. And just for a little tip, that even if you have your current trading volume on another exchange and you want to move to Bybit, you can show the evidence of your high trading volume and you can just go straight away to high VIP. So I think it's a very nice opportunity. And you all know Bybit is my favorite exchange, right? Like I've been in this market of crypto for 8 years. I've always had a very strong opinion of Bybit, highly positive, and I think it's fair to say like my bias here is very nice because there's never any problems with this exchange, and that's what we want when it comes to an exchange, right? So that's all I'll say with that. But yeah, I hope that you've enjoyed the video. I hope I opened your eyes to the opportunities, the well-respected technical levels that you get, not just on Bitcoin and the altcoins, but on some of the other futures markets. There are opportunities galore coming into silver as well. I'm bullish on silver. I just think there's a lot of opportunities. While Bitcoin's going so sideways, let's not blind ourselves to only looking at this one asset. Open your eyes, open yourself to those opportunities, and I will help you every step of the way. And we'll see, if that's of interest to you or not. If you want to only focus on Bitcoin, well, I'm going to still be here every day of the week looking at Bitcoin too, so you won't lose that. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope it's made sense. And yeah, leave some comments down below of any feedback. I will read it all. Thank you ever so much. Hope you've enjoyed. And that's me signing out. Goodbye.